Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is Daniel Whitney, and today's video we're going to talk about joining data. So in the previous video we talked about how to connect to a folder. We're going to get to the opportunity to go through that one more time, and as we go through the process you'll get a chance to see what the steps look like, uh, going from no map to being able to add data to our map, and then from there being able to connect some kind of data to the data that we have in our map. And so right now it sounds like a lot. This is going to go by pretty quickly. So just do the best you can. And if you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments. So starting out right here, what we have is an Excel spreadsheet. And there's two sheets to this one. There's, to give you an idea of what this data is, this is the state of Texas, 2016 and 2000 presidential elections. And in this, we can see by the county, which is this row right here, how many votes each candidate got, who won that particular county. And I'll explain what this is in a second. So we look at 2000. Let me zoom in for you so we can get a chance to see this. You'll see we have our county right here. We have who got what votes, who the candidates were, and who won. Now, this last column right here is kind of important. What I did here is I determined each county's last 2000 election winner and 2016 election winner, and I just concatenated those. And the reason why I did that is that if you see, we see a Republican won this county in 2000 and 2016, so it's a pretty reliable Republican county there. But we'll get a chance to see counties like this. Bexar County, San Antonio, was previously in 2000 had voted for Republican, and in 2016 voted for a Democrat. And so this is the changes that we're looking for, and that ultimately I want to show on a map using ArcMap. So I'm going to go ahead and open up ArcMap right here. This is a blank canvas right here. We don't have anything in here. Similar to what we did before, we're going to add data. Now I've already connected to this folder, but this is what it would look like after the connection is made. Now we can see that I have some data in here. And so in here, I have two things. I have the Texas County Boundaries shapefile, and then I have the election data that we were just looking at in my Excel spreadsheet. So I'm going to start off by opening the shapefile and adding it to my map. And this is what we see. This is a shapefile. If you haven't learned at this point, this is this shapefile contains vector data, and so this essentially just gives us what the outline of all of these counties are. And a really important thing for what we're going to be doing here in the future is if I look at the attribute table, and I get to this by right-clicking the shapefile. If I look at the attribute table, then we're going to see that each one of these shapes or each one of these counties has a county name. And this is going to be really important because, you know, when we're tying information to what we have geographically, we need some kind of anchor. We need something that we can match from one set of data to another to anchor those two things together in one place. And so what's great about this county shape file is that it has the county name for each individual county, which means that if I have any other data that I'm interested in looking at by county, I can easily join that data to this shapefile. And that's what we're going to do right now. So now that we have our shapefile in, we took a look at the attribute table. We're noting that the name of this row here, or this column, is county name. We're going to need to remember that. We're ready to move on and begin the process of adding some data to this. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go back to add data, and we'll see that I have my election county Excel spreadsheet. Now, it's an XLS. This is important whenever you're dealing with ArcMap. It's a little bit of an aged software, so we want to use appropriate Excel spreadsheets for this. I would always convert your Excel spreadsheet to an XLS. Uh, I'm going to add this, and then it's going to give me a choice to select which sheet. And so we had 2000's results, 2016 results. I actually only need 2016. I showed you where I had concatenated the results of 2000 and 2016 into a column in just the 2016 sheet. So we're just going to add that sheet by itself. Okay. All right, so now we have the sheet added, and just like we saw the attribute table in the shapefile, we're going to open the attribute table in the sheet, and we'll see the file I created here. So we have county, and this column right here with the names, and we're going to use these names to match up with our shapefile. And then at the end, we have the results. And like I said previously, 2000, 2016 results. So if it's rep, it's been a Republican held county in these two different elections. If it's rep dem or some combination of rep and dem, then we know that at some point in time that county is flipped from one party to another. All right, so we're going to go ahead and close this out. Now, when we're joining data, one of the most important things that we need to do is we need to make sure that we're joining it in the right direction. And so what that means is, uh, this is an Excel spreadsheet. There's no geographical information attached to this Excel spreadsheet. It's just a spreadsheet of the results from these elections from these counties. So what we're going to do is when we want to do our join, we want to join on the file that has the geographical data. And in this circumstance, it's the shape file. And so we're going to joins and relates after right clicking the shapefile, join. Now we're going to choose a field in this layer that the join will be based on. So this is why it's important to remember which column our county names are in. And so fortunately for us, it's aptly named county name. And we're going to choose the table to join this layer. It's the only one. So we're going to do our 2016. And now we get to choose the field in the table to base the join on. And this is why it's important when you're formatting your Excel files that you use descriptive names for the columns so that we can easily choose the one that we need. And in this case, since we're going to join base the results by county name with the county's shapefile, we're going to use the county to do the join, and then we're going to validate. As we go through this, it looks like we're good to go. So we'll clear this, and then we're good to join this information. Okay, so now it doesn't look like anything's happened, and that's 100% okay. The way that we tell whether this worked or not is we're going to go back to our attribute table by right-clicking on the shapefile. And if we scroll to the right, what we're going to see is all of the information that was in our Excel spreadsheet. There's one null county in here. We can skip that one. I've had a chance to look at the data. This is something that couldn't necessarily be fixed, but the rest of it holds true. And so in this scenario, we're looking at like Atascosa County, right? And to confirm that my join is correct, if I scroll to the left, I will see Atascosa County. So now the data for this county is linked up to its vector in the shapefile. So we're good to go here. This is good news. Now, how do I display this information is another important thing. I'm going to right click the shapefile and I'm going to click on properties, and we're going to go to categories, and in categories I'm going to click county name. Actually what I want is I want the results. So I'm going to click results. I'll add all values. I'm going to remove the null, and then I'm going to remove, that's it. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to remove the null, and after I remove the null, now I have my 4 categories. I have the counties that were previously Democratic that are still democratically held. I have the counties that were previously Democratic and who've switched over to Republicans. And I have the counties that were previously Republican that are now democratically held. And then the counties that were previously Republican and continue to be Republican. So, uh, obviously, if I were to, just hit apply now, this really doesn't make sense. These colors are just assigned automatically by ArcMap, and they don't really tell us anything in the traditional sense that we would view a political map along Republican and Democratic lines. So we're going to start off by changing the colors. And so for the counties that were Democratic and continue to be Democratic, I think that you have an idea for what we're going to do here. So I will right click the row, and then I will click properties for selected symbols, and this page will appear, and in here I can change the color. Obviously, if the county was previously Democratic and is still Democratic, then I'm going to stick with the blue color because I think that visually it'll be the easiest to understand for the person who's looking at the map. Now let's go to our Republican held counties that continue to be Republican held, and right click properties for selected symbols. Same situation, except for now I'm going to choose red. And now we get to make some creative choices about how we want to display the counties that have flipped. So I'm going to start with the previously Democratic and now Republican. Same situation, right click, properties for all selected symbols. And I'm actually going to go with this 10% crosshatch. And since it's now Republican, I want to fill this with red, but I want the outline to be blue. And then I'm going to do the same for my previously Republican and now Democratic counties. So right click, properties for selected symbols. I'm going 10% crosshatch. I'm going to fill this one with blue and then outline it with red. Now, if I hit apply and OK, this map should make a little bit more sense. The blue counties in 2000 and 2016 were previously Democratic and continue to be Democratic. The counties where we see our blue crosshatch are counties that have flipped Republican, or flipped Democratic from Republican. Sorry about that. And then the counties that are red hatched, we know were previously Democratic and have flipped Republican. So that's joining data. This was a lot of information, so if you have to watch it a couple times, take your time. I get that we went through pretty quickly. Just some information about joining data. A lot of it is going to be doing a lot of processing with the Excel file in advance. In this particular video, I haven't gone through, if statements in Excel or how to use the concatenate function. Those are things that you can just easily look up. But whenever you're, creating an Excel spreadsheet that you're going to join with some data, the most important thing for you to know is that in order to tie that geographically, you need to have some way of anchoring those two things together. Unfortunately, for this type of data, anchoring means that we're just going to anchor on the county name. But for whatever you're working on, either in the project that you're currently working in or in the future as you look towards your final projects, you want to have that in mind in advance. What data point are you going to be able to connect geographically with the thing that you're doing research in? So that's joining data in ArcMap. Once again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section, or you can reach out to me or your other TA in the course. And thank you for your time. Have a good day.